Snake Eyes is all about looking at a relationship from outside and being able to see sort of like really clearly the problems in it, you know? In my perspective, it was my like blossoming relationship with alcohol, which I just wasn't really prepared for. I'd been sober for most of my life, and I started drinking when I met my wife. Like she was like really into sake, so we went out and we had some sake, and that was it. And it was kind of like, that was my foray at 28 or 29. I just started drinking, and so it led me to sort of start thinking about, you know, looking at all of the relationships that we have from the outside, from an outside perspective. But in that process, there's the hope of the fact that you're trying to actually discover the most authentic version of you. You know, you're pushing those boundaries constantly. You know, when we finished that song, I felt really, really good about it. It was a really positive step, and I felt like it would give people that were in kind of the same position as me a fair amount of strength.
And I know what is wrong from right, but I will always roll the dice.
At the time I was writing the records, there was a lot in the news and on TV about, you know, this incessant bombing of innocent civilians. What was happening was these people were turning for refuge to countries that had bombed them, and then these countries were then denying them access and turning them away. I found just a lot of parallels in that and my behaviour with my family. I just became a bit of a tyrant and was kind of bombing my family and my friends. When they were coming for help, I was kind of refusing them any kind of access to me. Once I had sort of realised that, the record wrote itself very quickly.
And at this point, what's another measure?
In the video, the woman dancing is, you know, she's dancing around this chair which she ends up smashing up, and then eventually you get to the end of the song and you realise that this woman starts disrobing. She takes her hair off, she takes her shoes off, she pulls fake boobs out and takes a corset off, and then you realise that it looks really familiar, and actually you think that might actually be me. I spent like a good month with some really good friends of mine, some dancers, that getting me in shape to basically just completely undo everything I knew about myself, about being a man, like walking like a man, to try and find this feminine side in me, which we all have. You know, we're very complicated people, human beings. There's multi-layers to all of us, and we have, you know, as much femininity in us as masculinity. It just took me a minute to find it. Once you know that it's me, you watch it and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see he's fucked that move up, but it's, you know, and he's not particularly the most feminine woman out there, but I think I did all right, pretty convincing.